My name is Kimberly Zimmer, and I am the Bay Region Associate Region Engineer for Operations for the Michigan Department of Transportation. Operations is a department that includes construction, maintenance, and traffic and safety. One of the duties of my job is managing emergencies for the Bay Region. On May 19, 2020, Mid-Michigan received between 5 to 9 inches of rain that resulted in widespread flooding in Midland, Gladwin, Aranac, Saginaw, and Iosco counties. This large amount of rain resulted in the Wixom Lake and Sanford Lake dams failing. Roads, bridges, homes, and businesses were damaged. Some were literally washed away. This event resulted in an emergency declaration and was one of the largest disasters in Michigan's history. Thankfully, no one died. When the dams failed, the water engulfed the roads and bridges. MDOT and county maintenance crews were closing roads and detouring traffic to keep people safe. At one point in time, there were over 23 roads closed, and people in some areas had no way to get in and out. When there are emergencies like this, the state of Michigan and counties work together through an emergency operations center. The operations centers allow for communication and collaboration between government agencies, 911, police, fire, and EMS. Emergency responders use technology like cell phones, text messaging, social media, website updates, and online meetings to share information with the public regarding this emergency. Alerts on cell phones were sent to notify residents to evacuate their homes. Keep in mind, as all this was happening, we were also dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic and having to take health precautions. The next day, once the storm passed and the floodwater started to recede, engineers, technicians, and maintenance crews had their boots on the street to assess the damage and get emergency contracts in place to restore access to the public. Our first emergency contract had crews and equipment out on US 10 at Sanford Lake 90 hours after the event. This disaster was so large that MDOT teamed up with county, local, and consulting engineers to assist with plans and contracts to repair the damaged roads and bridges. MDOT also assisted some of our local communities with their contracts and repairs. Approximately 115 damage reports had to be completed, and MDOT awarded 10 emergency expedited contracts to repair US 10, M30, US 23, M65, Saginaw Road, and Curtis Road. MDOT staff are currently building a temporary bridge on M30 at Wixom Lake up in Gladwin County. One thing to keep in mind is that this event was so large in magnitude, it also had an emotional impact on our community, in addition to the physical damage. We were all adapting and learning to deal with changes with COVID-19. Our area was hit by a flood and the dam failures, and it resulted in so much loss. MDOT responders and volunteers have worked tirelessly to restore the roads and bridges for the public. Residents and government officials are working to secure federal funds to rebuild. Our team's success for managing and recovering from this emergency disaster was a result of teamwork, relationships, communication, collaboration, and technical engineering expertise.